report.
Sir. So, afternoon classmates. So, malinaw po ba yung ano ko, sir? Yung screen ko po.
Yes, malinaw.
So, good afternoon classmates. Good afternoon, sir. We will be continuing on my report last week about coordination and control of resources. And I believe that this will be our last topic for the subject according to our syllabus. So just a quick recap. Our main objective is to learn and understand how to handle and manage various resources needed in the production and manufacturing industry. Those resources are called the 5 M's, and these are men, materials, machinery, management, and money. So we were already done with the part 1. That was about just-in-time and Kanban, scientific inventory control, theory of constraints, and the critical path method. Today, we will be stepping up those methodologies using computer-based systems, and those are MRP, MRP2, and ERP, or the material requirement planning, the manufacturing resource planning, and the enterprise resource planning. Let's go on to the first, the material requirement planning. What is a requirement? What is material requirement planning? So material requirement planning is a production planning, scheduling, and inventory control used to manage manufacturing processes. Most MRP systems are software-based, but it is possible to conduct MRP by hand as well. An MRP system is intended to simultaneously meet these three objectives. Ensure raw materials are available for production and products are available for delivery to customers. Number two, maintain the lowest possible material and product levels in store. And the third and the last is to plan manufacturing activities, delivery schedules, and purchasing activities. So let us see how MRP works and how it is done. So in here, we have the inputs of MRP, the process, and examples. Let's get into the first, the input and the process first. So in this slide, on the left side, we have the input, and in the middle, we have the process, and on the rightmost side is the example. So the first input of MRP is the master production schedule. The master production schedule is the schedule, order schedule. So for example, let us see here the PS. If we have 10 cars order in 3 weeks, so that's the order for us. Next is the bill of materials. So for that order, for that 100 cars in 3 weeks, we will need tires. So specifically tires. So if you input that MPS and if you combine those that MPS and bill of materials, we will have the bomb explosion, bill of material explosion, as they said. So for that example, the tires. So 4 tires plus 1 spare. So we will have uh, the specific quantity. And if you have the specific quantity, you will have to check your inventory file for available materials in your storage or warehouse, and you will have to combine that available or on-hand materials with your required materials from your BOM explosion, and we call that process a netting of materials. So let us see some example of netting. So from BOM explosion, we identified that we need 500 tires, and from our inventory file, we have 200 tires. So if we put that in net, 500 less 200 is 300 tires. So we will order 300 tires as a requirement for our MPS to produce 10 cars in a week. So after that netting, after knowing the required quantity to order, we will again need the inventory file to offset the schedule. Offsetting is just like planning. So we need 100 cars in week 3. So we are planning to start the production in week 2. So patras yung yung offsetting. And for example, you know that if you order today, your orders will come after 1 week. So i-schedule natin siya in such a way na sunod-sunod siya na ma-attain natin yung 100 cars na order. For example, in our example sa MPS, ma-attain natin yung 100 cars na yun in week 3. So MRP helped us answer these 3 questions: what to order, when to order, and how much to order. But how about the beyond the receipt of the material? We will need to use MRP2 or the manufacturing resource planning. MRP2 extends the MRP1 or MRP for short all the way through manufacturing and shipping processes of the company and will also include the following: forecasting of demand, machine capacity planning, quality tracking, and actual production. So the root word here is manufacturing and shipping process. Kung yung MRP natin ay hanggang ordering lang at receiving the item, dito naman kasama na yung data natin hanggang manufacturing and shipping process. Because once the items are available and delivered to the consumers, the MRP ends. MRP stops upon the delivery of material. So kapag isasama natin yung data natin sa system, so we need manufacturing resource planning na yung tawag doon. Pagkasama na itong mga 4 na items dito, bukod doon sa delivery and receipt of inventory. So how about some aspects other than ordering, like manufacturing and delivering? What system can we use? We will use the ERP. Yan. The ERP or the Enterprise Resource Planning. It's a system that can take care of all the data of a company or organization. The root word here is the word all data. It will include HR data, dito HR, finance data, sales and marketing data, event planning data, all data in one centralized system. So nandito, from sales marketing, paikot yan, finance and accounting, up to production, human resource, so sa planning, sa inventory, sa reporting, sa customer relation, nandiyan na po hanggang one system lang siya talaga. So centralized. Kung may kailangan na idea or request yung production galing sa HR, dadaan po sila sa isang system na makikita na po ng HR without calling via telephone or having a printed report or printed request from the said production department. Ganon din po sa sa inventory management. So later on may papakita ko na may i-share ako about sa previous employer ko about sa ERP. So we will dito tayo sa next na slide. We will mark MRP in a nutshell. When we compare MRP versus MRP2 and ERP, we will have the illustration like this. So para hindi tayo malito, dito muna tayo sa white background. And we will mark MRP as level 1, MRP2 as level 2, and ERP is the highest on level 3. Now, on the right side, most of this slide are the differences. Dito yung red boxes. Yan, MRP is used for ordering materials, and when materials arrive, MRP ends. So, ano lang to, mga basic na lang to, mga basic lang na company. Yung gumagamit sa MRP, more on inventory lang yan, ordering and receiving of materials. When we add manufacturing and shipping data into the system, we will need MRP2. Yan, so angat tayo sa MRP2, which is hanggang production na and shipping nung ating materials. And when we add the remaining company data, like yung kanina, yung HR, yan, mga production, sa planning, inventory, so we will step up to a system that has a more robust operating system, which is an ERP. So dito including finance, human resource, and customer relations. Just in case I discuss too fast and you want to learn about these three systems in your own pace, I put two YouTube links below this slide and feel free to click and study after our class. So in my previous employer, yung sa Petron ako dati, sa Petron Bataan Refinery, I work at the power plant and we use ERP. All data are stored on a centralized system. So ganto yung ano namin, ganto yung illustration ng company namin. When operation team wants to withdraw tools from the warehouse, we encode it on the system. When the maintenance team wants to follow up raw orders from the procurement, they use the system. When the price of coal and electricity fluctuates, the planning team updates the break-even price of our electricity product for the operations engineer to know when to supply and decrease electricity export in the grid. All information is shared using multiple computers with one centralized system. So ganyan na po yung kabilis yung information, hindi na po kagaya sa ibang company na magpiprint pa ng papel tapos may mga signatory pa doon, natatagalan sa routing ng papel, tsaka mga comments and suggestions po. So punta tayo. For discussion purposes, I research how much do subsystems cost, and mahal pala siya. 3 users will cost 649,000 and 5 users will cost around 832,000. Nakuha ko sa sa website ng SAP kasi SAP mismo yung ginagamit namin na ERP sa Petron. So mahal talaga siya, no? Kaya isang user lang para sa isang computer. Kapag nilagin mo yung user number na yon sa ibang computer, maglalagout yung previous. Kaya pala sa operations team, isa lang yung username na ginagamit namin. Sa HR, ganun din. Kaya pala kapag nagtatrabaho yung sa HR benefits, hindi makapagtrabaho kasi hindi makalagin yung sa kabila, yung HR payroll. Nagbibigayan, sir, pati HR events. Kapag halimbawa may tinatanong kami about HR matters, may mga times na sinasabi sa amin na nakalagin po kasi yung kabilang SAP. May gumagamit po ng kabilang SAP. So they are using only one account pala kasi ganito kamahal yung account. And I think hindi lang po around 5 users yung sa amin kasi po pati warehouse may account. Pati po mga managers namin may account para nakikita po nila yung forecast. May mga ano rin po dyan. Kung nakikita nyo po dito sa SAP, may kasama po na reporting. Yan dyan po, nakikita po ng mga manager namin yan, yung spike ng consumption, spike ng profit, mga raw materials, mga ganun po sir. Pati po mga leave of absence dyan, galing po sa HR namin, nakikita po nila na monitor din po, via SAP lang po yan. Lalagyan lang po sila doon tapos magsasap. So Petron hired one person, we call him SAP coordinator. He to take care of everything, all the inquiries about this complicated system. All works, including work scope, all employees, all transactions, all equipment, and even down to the smallest nuts and bolts are tagged with numbers for system integration. Kahit po yung mga tissue, battery, ganun po, may mga po yan. Safety shoes, may kanya-kanya pong tag para pag nag-request po kami, input na lang yung mga number na yon, tapos ipiprint po ng SAP doon sa mismong warehouse na po, bawas na po kagad yung process. Nandun na po kagad yung process sa kabilang side ng company. Kahit hindi na po kayo magdala doon ng papel, automatic na po yun, ipiprepare na po nila doon, tatanggapin nyo na lang po. So from my own experience, yan, withdrawal of battery, tissue paper, even gloves must be requested via SAP. Even reporting a small leaking valve or oil leak must be encoded into SAP. A versatile yet complicated level of business system. So thank you for listening, classmate, and that ends my report about coordination and control of resources. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Sir.
Thank you, Engineer Paragas, Ricky, for very nice presentation and sharing your experience
Yes, sir.
in what is your specialty? Are you a chemical engineer or?
Ano sir, I am a mechanical engineer po, and my experience po is in power plant. And but right now sir, I am employed at Region 1 Medical Center po sa sa oxygen generation plant.
Kay Dr. Yeah,
Opo, kay Dr. Mia po.
that's good. So that is a very advanced technology. Actually, it's my first time to watch this kind of type of planning. So it is a learning experience, of course. Napakaganda. Ano, MRP, ERP, and you have explained the step, di ba? Step by step.
Yes sir.
Well, planning, you have to use MRP. MRP lang yun, no? Parang MRP1.
Yes,
Then
sir.
the next step, ito, level 2. Pero kung if all the departments in the agency are involved, ERP na, di ba?
Yes sir.
Nandiyan yung human resource,
Yes, sir.
administrative. Lumalaki na yung kwan. And all these departments, at least there is some transaction, they will know at once, di ba? Kung
Yes, sir.
merong
Yes sir.
so that's the beauty of digital technology.
Yes sir.
And napakabalik, 149,000 yung, is this the program?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
For how many users? 3 users only?
3 users lang po.
1,832. Pero kung ito, bayong-bayo din ito, no? Bayong-bayo din yung kwan.
Yes sir, Boeing po. For transparency po sir.
Like in near Region 1, how many medical doctors do you have in? I think it's more than 100, no? Medical doctors in Region 1 Hospital. Napakaraming empleyado dyan eh. Maraming klaseng sakit. Then, as you have said, you are in charge in oxygen ba yun? Sa tangke ng oxygen?
Yes sir. Production po ng oxygen generation plant po. Newly
Okay.
commissioned oxygen plant.
Very, very good. At least, yun ang kwan kasi, yung oxygen na yan.
Yes, sir.
You mean to say that you are no longer buying, or you're only buying the material?
Currently, sir, we are still outsourcing our oxygen, but we have enough supply po. Naghihintay lang po ng request ng mga users.
Nice.
Pero ready na po for dispensing yung mga oxygen po na nagawa namin.
Okay, so your what you've discussed, that at least it is very related to sinasabi natin industrial management.
Yes, sir.
Ang of science and engineering management or management engineering is almost yan, i-discuss mo yan, yung industrial management. Diyan sa tumama. At least we have heard experiences with regards to yan, so that's nice. Because it's my first time to hear that topic. Okay, is there any question to the reporter? Any clarification? Sabi niya, kami lang ni Ricky. If you want more information, you have to click. Di ba meron kang sinabing i-click doon, no?
Yes, sir.
For more information.
Ito, sir. May dalawa po link dito kapag dyan po almost galing lahat ng sir. About dito sa slide na po na ito, sir.
Babasahin mo. Then, as you have said, this is already the last topic in production planning and control. Di ba? Last na
Yes,
ito,
sir.
no?
Yes, sir. Based on syllabus po.
Topic number 10 na ito eh. Tapos na. So, next Saturday, wala na tayong kwan. Maghintay na lang tayo ng final exam, no?
Yes, sir.
So, guys that you have to read, to return for yung mga PowerPoint presentation, and if you have time, of course, you have to conduct research with regards to yung given na sinasabi na it's the PPS. Ganon. Okay, is there any question to our reporter? Engineer Paragas? If there's none, so we can proceed to the next subject, efficiency engineering.
Hello, sir. Bali, mag-out na po ba tayo dito, sir, o dito na lang po?
Palagay ko baka kulang ng time.
Yes, sir. Baka po.
Another 2 ID na lang po, sir.
Can
Sige.
we use this one? Zoom ID o yung Zoom ID mo?
Sir, siguro kay Sir Marjon Habo na lang po yung gamitin natin, sir. At I think ano na lang po, last 15 minutes.
Okay.
Sige.
Zoom ID.
Another Zoom ID na lang po, sir.
Opo, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, classmates.
Thank you very much. Tapos, tingnan natin ang